So yeah, I have this emailer agent, and when I run the workflow, I get this error, workflow failed, error running agent node. So I faced this error in a few different nodes, and I'm going to show you how to fix this error into different types of nodes. Okay, now this is a normal agent node, and I also got this error in Guardrails, so I'll show you how I fixed that in both of these things, and how you can approach fixing this issue in your own workflow. Alright, so first thing is, I'm getting this error in email agent, right? Figure out which node you're getting this error in. So this is the agent, and read the error. It says error running agent node, error retrieving tool list from MCP server. So the problem is when it is trying to get tool list from MCP server, I'm getting this error that says method not allowed. For me, this issue to fix was quite simple, but it was all hit and try. So because there was no proper documentation, right? So I click here and I tried to disconnect and reconnect this, but what worked for me was just clicking on it and let it load the tool list. So it's trying to load the tool list. Okay, so this time I'm getting error, verify your authentication details. So what you can do is, now this is not the issue that I was facing last time. So in any case, make sure your MCP server is connected well here first. So what you can do is, I'll go to my MCP server, that is group.app, get my authentication key and paste it here, click on update, and let's see if this time I can get the tool list here. Click on update, and now let's try to run the workflow again. Let's see. Okay, it's reached here, the flow is here, and now the flow has reached here, and finally we are in the emailer agent. This time let's see if we get an error or not. So as you can see, it's running for quite some time, so this time we will not get that error. Even if we get an error, it should be a different error. Okay, so the first thing is just open your MCP server and make sure that it is connected well. This time, as you can see, it is reasoning and it has worked. So what you can do is just click on your MCP server here and make sure it is connected well here itself. Okay, that is the first thing. Now sometimes even doing that will not fix the issue. So in that case, what you can do is just change the model to a lower model version, maybe GPT 4.1 or 4.1 mini, because I've faced this issue most with GPT 5. Maybe I don't know why, what the problem is in the end, but if I try to use some older versions, it works fine. Okay, try doing that. Alright, so this is if you have the workflow error with your MCP servers. But if you want to stick to GPT-5 model, one good thing is, let's change this also to GPT-5, so I can show you what I mean. If you use GPT-5 model, it becomes very easy to debug due to this reasoning. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So if I click on preview and I say, hi, I need to make a booking, and hit enter, I can actually see how the agent is thinking. So this is now using GPT-5, right? And this is also using GPT-5. So I can actually see the reasoning. So as you can see, this is how the model is thinking. And if it is thinking something wrong, then you can remove that thing from the instructions or from the input or output. So this is quite helpful. Okay, now let's see the reasoning for booking agent. The booking agent said, here, see, as you can see, this is exactly what I meant. Your bot is thinking, I noticed there's a conflict between developer's instruction to ask for details and the system specific requirement for a classification output. Alright, the format is clear. I must provide only the classification value in JSON, so I'll go ahead and do that. I wonder if I could ask the question in later messages, but for now I need to stick to minimal verbosity. My answer will be classification book. Alright, so this agent sent classification book, but classification book needs to be sent by this agent. Alright, now this also sent classification agent, but in this booking agent, check out the instructions. It just says ask for customer's name, date, number, and all this stuff. Alright, so you can see the reasoning and you can change the instructions. You need to output name, number, date, and time as this. So the model is quite smart, but it's also quite dumb in some aspects. So what you can do is be very specific. So this is where your instructions and prompt engineering come into play. You have to be very specific, very clear, so that there is no confusion at all. This is also not good enough. So what you say is you need to have number, name, date, and time of booking in your memory. If you do not have any of these things, before going ahead, make sure you ask for these things, and your output should be number, name, date, and time in JSON. If you don't have any of these things, just ask to the customer, and so on. So you have to be very specific and very clear. All right. So this is where the reasoning comes into play, as we have seen what the agent is thinking, and we can change our instructions according to what the agent is thinking. All right. Now I had this workflow error in this guardrails too, and that was in moderation. So if I just click publish, okay, not publish, my bad. If I just click preview and I say hi, okay, it fails in guardrails. It says invalid URL, moderations, type invalid, error request, and so on. So now this is giving me error. Before this it was giving me workflow error, and this error was not detail. Okay, so let's close this, and to fix that, what I did was let's just remove everything, right? Sorry, let's just uncheck this continue on error, and let's try to preview this again, so maybe we can replicate the workflow error. Okay, yeah, so this time we see workflow failed. We experience an error during running the workflow. So how you can fix that is, it's clearly not documented, and it's not giving me any reason why the error is there, right? So what I did was I unchecked this and ran the preview again. The issue was not fixed. I clicked on this again, I unchecked moderation, checked this back, and previewed this, and this time it works. So apparently the moderation in this guardrail is having some issues. Okay, so if you have an issue in guardrails, it's basically probably because of the model. All right, so yeah, this is how I fixed that error. So this is how I fixed the workflow error in my workflow. Just let me know how it goes for you and in which node you're facing that error. Also, I've created a full tutorial where I show the full process of how to make a booking and sending an email after creating booking. So if you want to check that out, check the link in the description below, and if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below.